Daredevil Born Again is premiering its first two episodes tomorrow, so in honor of that, before Disney potentially further ruins my favoriteest superhero, I would like to talk about a little how the original Daredevil show is just amazing. I'm gonna glaze this show for a good 10 minutes here because there's a lot of things I think it does filmmaking wise right that a lot of recent Marvel Disney Plus shows are getting wrong. I haven't read a lot of the Daredevil comics or seen this movie, so the thing that really makes Daredevil for me is this show. This is going to be a relatively spoiler free review here, but if you haven't seen the show yet, I would highly recommend it. My film recommendations do not miss. I am always right. I've never been wrong about anything in my entire life. But if you some reason don't believe me, maybe by the end of this video I can convince you to watch it. I'm currently rewatching it with my friend Na. I think it's safe to say he's enjoying it. I'm definitely glad I'm rewatching it before watching Born Again. Daredevil released in 2015, 3 years after the Avengers released. Marvel was pretty hot. It was like pretty peak at the time. Everyone was going to see anything Marvel related. Marvel wanted to try and make some TV shows. They made a deal with Netflix and created a couple, starting with Daredevil. Now, at the time, they weren't sure whether or not they wanted Daredevil to be connected to the MCU, so they leave the door open for that. A lot of the characters in the show refer to the Battle of New York as the incident. So this was really just a test for Marvel, but the people they put in charge for this show must have taken it very seriously. Pretty much every aspect of this show was either perfect or at least good. The writing, acting, cinematography, fight choreography, all of it is good, including the music, which is where I'm going to start. The main theme for the show was an absolute banger. I never skipped the intro. I banged my head every time it came on. And the rest of the music in the show is pretty good as well. Really gives off that late 2010s vibe. I think it all really fits the show. Now, something that I think really allowed the show to flourish was the use of the 13 episode format. A lot of Marvel Disney Plus shows now use the 6 episode format, which I don't think has worked for them once. I think it could work, but it hasn't worked, and I'm just kind of sick of it. So now that I'm rewatching Daredevil, it's just relieving to not be done with the show in 6 episodes. I think the 13 episode format really allows for the show to do everything it wants to do, and it's all paced really well, so you don't really get bored, I don't think. I think a big reason why you don't get bored is because of how well written the dialogue scenes are. I think something that a lot of writers struggle with now is making entertaining dialogue. They see it more as just padding the runtime or filler until you get to the next big fight or explosion. Dialogue can kind of be a fight in its own ways, and it's good for a writer to look at it like that. Now, the characters are what really makes these dialogue scenes great with how diverse they all are, but the characters wouldn't be as great as they are if it wasn't for the absolute banger, magnificent casting of this show. I think probably the best part of this show is the casting. Pretty much all the actors from Daredevil to Extra number 31 are amazing. Charlie Cox as Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. These are just great casts. John Bernthal as Punisher. The acting helps the characters helps the dialogue, and the dialogue helps the fight scenes. I think the fight scenes are like the biggest draw to this show. I think the reason a lot of people get hooked is the fight scenes. The one shot hallway scenes is what I think really hooked everybody. The fight choreography in this show is top tier, but what really helps it is the cinematography. The show is just really nice to look at, and that's also thanks to the color grade. I feel like a lot of things now use this like the same color grade. There's like this basic bitch Hollywood color grade that's slapped onto everything to make it look professional now, and I think it's lame and boring. But this show uses kind of a yellowish and gray color grade at sometimes. I think it really works with the tone they're setting. Anyways, you should watch Daredevil because it's almost always entertaining every second without having to have an explosion every 5 seconds. But there are the explosions for the people that only give a fuck about those. If you like good music and film, it's there. If you like acting, it's there. Pacing, it's there. A longer format, it's there. The writing, it's there. The characters and their morals are all represented well through the dialogue. I actually got the opportunity to meet the actors for Daredevil and Kingpin at a Comic Con about a year or two ago, and they both signed this poster for me, and I just think it looks dope. I was going to get one with Daredevil, Kingpin, and Punisher on it and have all three of them sign it, but John Bernthal unfortunately flaked on the Comic Con, so I didn't get him to sign it. So, John Bernthal, if you're watching this video, please have me on your podcast and sign a poster for me. It'd be pretty cool. If this video gets 5.5 million likes, I will do a She-Hulk review. God bless. Later.
She used to say, be careful of the Murdoch boys. They got the devil in them. And you'd see it sometimes.